What a doozy. What a doozy of a look at this here we have this week, guys. So we're gonna talk about Keke Palmer. Y'all know Keke put out this song, kind of going at her baby daddy Darius, but then she was like with him the next day. Whatever, cool. Tory Lanez, y'all got him while he's, locked up in the clink. It's not funny, but he was attacked in jail. And then last night, late breaking news, we find out that Halle Bailey was granted a restraining order against DDG. Let's talk. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. We are here to talk. Look at this here, which is my take on pop culture, celebrity gossip, current events, all that type of stuff. We do 3 topics in 20 minutes or less. So if you enjoy that type of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, and leave all your comments down below. It's a lot to talk about. I know the opinions are going to be opinionating, so leave your thoughts down below. Let's start off with Keke Palmer, okay? Keke Palmer. Lauren is what is it? Lauren Kiana Palmer. All right. So, this past Friday, the singer and actress, she released a song called My Confession. It's very reminiscent of Usher's Confessions, okay? Now, what is the song about? The song is about Kiki. Remember a couple years ago when she was at Usher's Vegas residency and she had on the outfit and baby daddy was like, but you're a mother though. And it sparked outrage from everybody from incels to feminists to everybody had an opinion, okay? Some were horrific hot takes, some had a little more common sense to them, but everybody had an opinion, okay? So, in this song, she's highlighting what led up to that moment, okay? So, after she released the song, she put on Instagram and shared a message with her fans saying that it's exactly what it sounds like, me giving voice to the feelings that I buried. Sometimes the closure we need doesn't come from a conversation, it comes from being honest with ourselves. This is what this song is, my peace, my clarity, my way of letting go. I wrote this with Taylor Parks, my best friend of 22 years, who've seen me through every version of myself. This track is raw, it's emotional, and it's real. I'm not here to play perfect. I'm here to be honest. I'm just here to be Kiki. So the song starts off with her reflecting back on the moment in Vegas in which Kiki claims that they were already broken up. Now I have to admit, when I first heard this, I rolled my eyes because I like Keke Palmer, okay? I really do. But I rolled my eyes because Kiki, you had this big moment where, he embarrassed you and had all these other people slut shaming you and all this type of stuff, right? You had that. Then you ended up like getting back together with him, but then you released footage of instances of DV, and then y'all got back together. Like it was very whirlwind. Even now with this, you released this song and then y'all were together on Mother's Day. So like, I mean, what are we supposed to do with this? I guess is my point. What are we supposed to do with this, Kiki? Like for real. So the song starts off, summer 23, we were in Vegas, right? Broke up with me and you hopped up on the flight, was trying to find my way back to all right. So I figured that I have myself a girls' night. Hence, going to the concert. 48 hours later, online, made me a villain for sympathy, but you lied. But the truth is, in Vegas, we was already over, boo, because of you. So we know that she's talking about when she was dancing with Usher and the cherries and all that type of stuff. And like I mentioned, he said, it's the outfit though, you a mom. Kiki then goes on to say in the chorus, F your projections, these are my confessions, which is such a good play on words because it involved the Usher concert. You at the Usher concert. I lived. I loved that part of it. I loved that petty. In the second verse, she talks about how your family, they don't like me, that's fine. But then when you get back on their side, or when did you get back on their side? When I met you, you hated them like you hated me now. She also mentions the backlash that he faced online after his comments. 72 hours, now your feelings hurt. My fans were dragging you because you had the nerve. You almost turned me into a cliche, thought having your baby would make me want to stay. But you have stayed though, Key. I guess, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what to think about this. The song is like not gonna go on the radio or anything like that. It was a cute little Kiki, and then I feel like we moved on from it as a society very quickly. But she also mentions in the song, saying this was hard for me, only speaking for my peace. Truth hurts, and this is mine. So, what we are supposed to ascertain from this is Kiki and Darius were broken up in Vegas. When he said what he said, it was just a way to try to hurt her. Yeah. But again, y'all were literally just together on Mother's Day. And I understand that y'all have a baby together and all this type of stuff, but like I don't know what we're supposed to do with this Kiki. How did y'all feel about the song? What did y'all think about it? Are y'all shocked to find out that they were divorced, not divorced, but that they were broken up when he made the statement? I wasn't. I was like, oh, that kind of tracks. Tory Lanez. So, Daystar, like his name is crazy to me. It has to like what's the do we know the history behind his name? No. Nonetheless, Tory Lanez was hospitalized on Monday after being stabbed at the California prison where he is serving 10 years for shooting Megan Thee Stallion. Okay. Now, I could be on my petty and say, well, I mean, if we don't see any like stab wounds, if there's no remnants of like whatever they used to stab him with in his body, is it real? Because that's how y'all did Megan, but I'm not gonna do that. So the Canadian rapper, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, is in fair condition as after he was allegedly attacked by another inmate at a housing unit at the California Correctional Institute in Tehachapi around 7:20 a.m. Okay. So the suspected attacker, identified as Santino Casio, has been placed in restrictive housing pending an investigation. I bet his ass is thrown in the shoe. Sir, keep your like you already in I mean, I guess. So Tory has issued a statement. This is the crazy part. Like, so news broke that Tory Lanez was attacked in jail, right? Everybody was saying, oh my God, okay. They were saying that he was stabbed 14 times, whatever the case. The report that I saw said that he was in critical condition. However, mere hours later, this was posted to his Instagram saying, hey, in, saying that he was stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. They talk about how both his lungs had collapsed, but his condition was improving. They're saying that he's now breathing on his own. Now, if if you are a true doctor or nurse or CNA or somebody in the medical profession, please let me know. Can that happen? Can both your lungs collapse, but then like an hour or two later you're just breathing on your own? And I'm not even trying to be funny. I literally have no idea how that works. So the post goes on to say that despite being in pain, he is talking normally in good spirits and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. How are you talking and all that stuff with 2 collapsed lungs? But okay. So details about their attack remain scarce. Officials said that the prison's investigative unit and Kern County District Attorney's Office are both investigating. NPR has reached out. This article is from NPR. They reached out to the DA's office for more information, and they have not received anything back. What do y'all think about this? I thought Tory Lanez was getting shipped back to Canada when he got found guilty. Now I know that there are people on like the when it comes to the world, it's very split involving Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, okay? I believe Megan. We saw the pictures, we've seen the x-rays and stuff. She was shot in the foot, in the feet, okay? She was shot in the feet. But for there's a lot of people just don't feel as if she was. It was interesting to see how many women were on Tory Lane's side over Megan Thee Stallion. I thought that was very, very interesting. What do you guys think about this, about Tory being attacked? Do you guys feel that somebody might have put Santino up to it? You think Tory's in there like running his mouth? What would have caused this attack? It's interesting, okay? And then the big story, when everybody's talking about Halle Bailey and DDG. So we found out last night that Halle Bailey was granted a temporary order of protection against her ex, DDG, the father of her child, little baby Halo, after claiming he has physically attacked her multiple times. Now, when I saw that she got the restraining order, I said, it's about to be some shit. And I said that because there are so many ignorant people, one, that are gonna say I told you so, which I'm not gonna lie. I say I told you so to people, okay? I've said it a time or two. I'm not perfect, okay? However, I think in times of domestic violence and stuff like this is not an I told you so moment. You know what I mean? I feel like if I tell my friend that party's gonna be whack, don't even go. That I heard that restaurant, the food is bad, don't go. And you go and you have a bad time, that's when I'll be like, I told your ass, I told you. But situations like this, the internet coming down on Halle and saying, I told you DDG was whack. Like, who is that helping? Who is that helping? It's not helping her. But so, according to court documents, the Little Mermaid star, she's claiming that the first incident of abuse took place in January, which is following their breakup. So, according to Halle, according to these documents, he was not abusive. He did not do anything of this sort that she's claiming now. Okay, that she is willing to reveal now when they were together. It started after they broke up, and to me, that makes sense. To me, that makes sense because when we first saw that they had broken up, when news first broke of that, we still saw them co-parenting Halo, which seemed to be swimmingly, right? It didn't seem to be any big issues. They seemed to be doing good with it. There was definitely a shift at the beginning of this year. So, DDG, his real name is Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr., became annoyed after he arrived at Halle's home to pick up their 1-year-old son Halo, and she tried to discuss a visitation schedule. As she was buckling the baby into the car seat, Halle's claiming that DDG repeatedly demanding, "Get out my car, bitch." I believe it. I believe it. One, Halle has no reason to lie about that. I believe he said that. So Halle became worried about leaving their crying baby with DDG, as any mother would, in his agitated state. Okay. Um, Now look, do I think that DDG was going to harm that baby? I don't. I think he wholeheartedly loves his son. You can tell he loves Halo. He's using that baby for a check. I tell you that. But he is a streamer. I don't think he was going to do anything to Halo. I don't think Halo was in any danger. But as a new mother of this, 1.5-year-old, I can understand him being like, Halo's crying, you got a little attitude. I don't feel comfortable leaving him. Like, I can understand that. So this exchange led to the former couple engaging in a tussle, okay? So during this tussle, DDG allegedly pulled Halle's hair, pushed her face into the steering wheel, and chipped her front tooth. Now, there were pictures that were submitted to not submitted to TMZ. TMZ went and got them pictures from the court documents, and we do see that Halle's tooth is chipped. Now, what blew me was the number of people that were in the shade room in the neighborhood talk, and some of these other social media blogs, some of those pages that were like, her tooth is not even that chipped. Just because y'all walk around with missing side teeth and y'all don't give a fuck about your own dental hygiene, a chipped tooth is a fucking chipped tooth. Her tooth is clearly chipped. It's not supposed to look like that. I can't, like, that really irritated me when people were saying that last night. It ain't even chipped that bad. Do you have a side tooth? If you do not have a side tooth, don't talk about how anybody's tooth is okay because it has a little chip. That was crazy to me. I feel like y'all do anything y'all can to invalidate whatever Halle is saying or doing because y'all are mad. Y'all are mad that she didn't want to share her pregnancy with the world. She didn't have to. She didn't have to. I don't know why people are still mad about that. I don't get it. So Halle stayed in the car for the ride to DDG's house, still concerned about her son's safety, before telling his family what happened. This is what happened. So she left Halo with the family and then felt hysterical after the alleged encounter. Okay. So she included photos, like I said, of the chipped tooth and the bruises of her arm in the restraining order, which was granted by the LA courts. So in the pictures that we saw, like I said, we see that front left tooth is chipped slightly or significantly. It doesn't matter. It's still chipped. And then we do see some bruising up and down her right upper arm. Not gonna post the pictures. Y'all can go to Twitter and Instagram. Pictures are all over the place. She talked about another incident in these court documents when he entered her home without permission and texted her a photo of her bed, writing, "Now I know what you've been on, LOL." Does he still have keys to her house? Or like he clearly still has some type of access to her house. Maybe it's so that he can get Halo. I don't know. That's interesting. So she interpreted the message as an accusation she was having sex with other people. She then claimed that he came back several days later after she told him that her and Halo were sick and she wanted the baby to remain at home. Now, I remember this because this is when Haley had RSV and DDG once again set his black ass up on Instagram and on Twitch and wherever he be streaming at to say that he wants to see his son and he ain't seen his son in 2 months and all that type of stuff. And Haley had to issue or Halle had to issue like a little statement saying, "I got RSV. The baby has RSV. RSV. We're quarantining." That's what a responsible person does, right? So she's saying that DDG allegedly became verbally abusive, destroyed her Ring camera, and took her phone during the encounter. So according to Halle, he tossed her phone out of his car as he drove off, saying, "Go get it, bitch." I believe it. And then the incident prompted her to file a police report. So in the report, she stated in her request for protection that she has the ring video footage of what happened. She has it. The most recent instance of craziness, okay, occurred last weekend when DDG accused her of being in St. Lucia with singer Brent Fayez. Is that how you say his name? Even though, according to Halle, she was on a sister vacation with Chloe. Now, to my understanding, this whole notion that Halle was out with Brent came from academics. I'm not calling him DJ Academics. That nigga ain't no DJ. But that came from academics. So I remember seeing the pictures going around and it became a thing. The night of the Met Gala, which was last Monday already. DDG was saying, "I wish I could be with one person. I just want to be with one person." Anytime Halle gets a little bit of a shine, anytime she's out and she's doing something and she's getting, going to these events that she has access to, that he no longer has the access to because he was her plus one, he does this. He does this. So apparently he texts her, and we saw the screenshot of the text messages, and text her saying that she was out with some dude. She said, "Not with any man out here. I wouldn't do that. I have Halo. Please let me enjoy my Mother's Day in peace. I hope you're okay and feel better soon." Now that's condescending as fuck. That's but I mean, like, I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're okay. So, in another text message that is included in her petition, DDG allegedly wrote, "Free Halo, bitch." I believe it. Um, DDG uses Halo for a lot of content. We know this, okay? He is a streamer. That's how he makes his money. He is a streamer, but it does seem as if he is using Halo solely for streaming purposes for the money. He knows that the numbers are going to go up when Halo is there. And I'm not saying that he doesn't love his son. I'm not saying that he doesn't take care of his son. What I'm saying is that he does use Halo for streaming. Okay. So Halle was granted the TRO, which protects, or TRO, which protects both her and Halo and bans DDG from having firearms in his possession. It also directs the rapper to stay 100 yards away from her and Halo and states that he must not contact her directly or indirectly. Further orders not to abuse Halle through physical means or coercive control were put into place in a restraining order. Um, I also saw somewhere that he's not able to mention Halo or mention Halle on the stream, which is really gonna, because now he's not gonna be able to get on the internet and say that he can't see his son, he can't see his baby, and all that type of stuff. So DDG found out he was streaming with Aiden. What's his name? Aiden Ross, who was like a MAGA enthusiast. Who also just called Doechii a disgusting bitch. I'm like, so that's who you kicking it with? Okay. So he was on a stream with him, and supposedly he found out. Now, initially, I thought that that was how he found out, but then I watched that video again and I'm like, he knew it was coming. That's why it was like, I feel like DDG had already known about the restraining order. He was already made aware of the restraining order, and he wanted to do this when news hit for shits and giggles. He wanted to do this when news hit for attention. What's interesting to me though, cause he's like, oh, is this real? No, this don't make sense. It does make sense, cause you know what you've been doing. What's interesting though is how DDG has been sitting his ass online talking about how I just want to see my son. I just want to see my son, making it seem as if Halle is this evil woman that is just keeping his son away from him when we see him with the baby. We see you with the baby. So I don't know why people even fall for that. The judge also said that Halle can take Halo over to Italy for 2 months while she films a movie. So now you really won't be seeing your son for 2 months like you lied about before. The comment sections have been abysmal across social media, where there are DDG's minions, his fans, his enthusiasts that clearly just hate women, that are saying that, oh, Halle is this and Halle is that, and she's doing all this to him and he's a good father. Nobody said he wasn't a good father. Nobody said he wasn't a good father, but Halle said that he was putting hands on her. That's the issue. Let me know what y'all think about this. This is interesting. It also further explains why DDG never wanted to go to court for custody. Because remember, he will whine about not being able to see his son whenever he wanted to. Y'all are split. That's what happens. The baby doesn't live in the house with you. Halle probably has primary physical custody, joint custody of the baby, but she probably has primary physical custody. People would tell DDG, take her to court, go to court so that you can see your baby. Go to court. He never wanted to. He always said that would upset her. No, you didn't want to go to court because you know that you've been doing shit behind closed doors. More stuff is going to come out. This is not the end of this. I will be shocked if this is the end of this. Let me know what you guys thought about these 3 stories. Keke Palmer and this song, Tory Lanez getting attacked in prison, and then Halle Bailey getting a restraining order against DDG. Let's talk about it down below. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, thumbs up the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.